This episode is produced and made possible with the help of Raycast Media.
Si le gustaría escuchar un episodio en español, por favor escuche el siguiente episodio.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Fuentes, and I'm part of the team here at La Incubadora Podcast. La Incubadora Podcast is part of the Economic Growth Business Incubator, also known as EGBI, and we're a local nonprofit with the mission of providing training, coaching, and support services to aspiring and existing business owners who might face barriers to growing a successful business. La Incubadora Podcast is born out of the need to put in video and audio a lot of the success stories that we see here at the Business Incubator. We also want to answer any frequently asked questions and connect y'all with the resources to succeed in business on your own time and wherever you are while you have access to a mobile device. Before we start, I do want to say thank you for Raycast Media for all the support you have sent over for La Incubadora Podcast. And so EGBI sends a big thank you to Raycast Media for their partnership with La Incubadora Podcast. And so for today, we're excited to have our business coach here, Paul Aguilar, to discuss the importance of having an online presence for small business owners. And so today, being visible online is very crucial for attracting new customers, for building your brand awareness, and for staying competitive. And so Paul is here to share some insights for you to optimize your Google My Business listing, leverage social media, and also other effective strategies that will help us enhance our digital footprint. But first, I want you to get to know Paul a little bit before we have this conversation. And so Paul Aguilar is dedicated to empowering entrepreneurs and small businesses, helping them achieve their goals and maximize their impact. Paul is also a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin with a bachelor's degree in economics. He previously served as a software developer and a digital marketer, and his technical proficiency serves as a foundation for providing tailored guidance across vital business areas, including planning, financial management, marketing, and technology. Paul values collaboration, innovation, and has a strong commitment to continuous learning. In his free time, Paul enjoys exploring the city of Austin and its surrounding areas, trying new restaurants, and watching films at the local independent cinema. So with that, please help me in joining and welcoming Paul Aguilar. Welcome, Paul, over, and it's a complete pleasure to share this conversation with you, Paul.
Thanks, David. It's a pleasure to be here with you and have a conversation.
Yeah, and we work together every day. I see you every day of the week, and I feel every conversation we have is insightful and kind of tells me a little bit more about your personality. And I hope that this interview will help convey that over to our clients, to our community, so that they can get to know you, Paul. And so, Paul, in case I missed something in your bio, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and also your role here at EGBI as a business coach?
Definitely. I love trying new cultures, definitely exploring. I'm a person that is dedicated to know the background of a story.
Mm-hmm.
I like to, for a movie that I saw or for exploring a new place, I want to know the history behind it and making those connections. I love traveling. That's one of my pastimes whenever I get the chance to do it, and exploring new places, getting to know new people, and I consider myself a good listener. So if you ever want to have a conversation over coffee, I'm a good person to do that.
Good, and I think all of our traits that make you a good business coach, Paul. Every conversation we have, I feel like we figure out a new place that you've traveled to or a new country, a language that you speak. And I feel that that cultural sensitivity helps you be a better business coach, because we do see a lot of diversity here at EGBI. So thank you for sharing a little bit about your story. And I hope that was a good icebreaker for us to start this conversation and get some information out to the community. And so, Paul, the purpose of this interview is to inform our clients a little bit more in our community about why it's important to have an online presence, especially as a small business. So the first question that I have for you is, why is having an online presence so crucial, especially for a small business?
Definitely. I would say that online presence goes below or inside what marketing. So in business, one of the main things that you have your product, you have your pricing, but now how are you going to sell your product or your service? So I would say that online presence, it's a great strategy to get more clients, to share your brand, and also to continue having that client to business interaction, making sure that whatever you're selling, people, how are people receiving, getting that feedback to improve your product, your service. So
Mhm.
online presence is just another tool that is crucial for our business.
Yes, I agree. I think a lot of the time we can find free tools that folks can use to improve their online presence or establish one, and that is the purpose of today, Paul. One thing that we like to tell our clients is, if your business is not in Google, your business doesn't exist, and I'll let you explain that a little bit. But this is a follow up to the question: is why is Google My Business? What is Google My Business? And how can small businesses benefit from it?
Yeah, everyone or mostly everyone knows Google, right? It's a search engine. As you know, Google's main income comes from paid advertising. And from its array of products, Google Maps is one of their most used. I use it mostly every day since when I get to work, since I want to
Mm-hmm.
know which routes to avoid. So basically, Google My Business goes under Google Maps, right? And basically, if you have a business in a certain city, you would like for your business to show up whenever you search it. So Google My Business is like a profile where you can input your business name, your services, your website, your address in case you have a physical address, and your number.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great way for people to that use Google to find your services. So let's say that you have a flower shop, right? You can just Google flowers near me, and then 10 or more results would pop up that show you flower shops around your vicinity. So it's a good way to find new restaurants. Let's say that you're craving Chinese food. You put Chinese food on Google Maps, and a lot of Google My a lot of businesses that are registered under Google My Business will show up. So to all the people who are listening to me right now, if you don't have one, I'll suggest you to create a Google My Business profile.
Good. Yes, and I hear from your, from your coaching sessions, that's something very common that you say, and it's right. Right, when I'm looking for a certain type of food, for example, if I'm looking for Mediterranean food, I will look Mediterranean food around me because I want something close to the office, and I discover places that I might have otherwise never seen or noticed. So it's a very good tool, and I believe it's free, right?
Yes, it's free.
Perfect. So free is perfect. How important is it for small businesses to be active on social media? This kind of pivots differently a little bit, but moving over to the social media aspect of it.
Definitely, myself, being a millennial, I grew up with, you know, when Facebook just started, and
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning, it was mostly just to meet friends and connect with people that you may have lost touch with. But
Mm-hmm.
now it has become a one of the major tools to promote businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major ones are um, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now known as X, and TikTok. Those will be the four most popular ones. And I
Mm-hmm.
would say that being having an online presence in a social network allows you to connect to your target audience, right?
Yeah.
So in case that you're selling a product most geared towards people 30 to 65, I would say that Facebook will be the best place for you to have your brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also can is used as Google Maps, where you can people can that don't know your service can discover you. And also with Facebook, you have the benefit of having groups, so people that are interested in a certain service or a certain hobby can find you way easier. In Instagram, it's picture oriented and now video as well. So in case you have a more visual product,
Mm-hmm.
you can do pictures, reels, and people can connect with you. I would say that X, it's more geared towards businesses where it's not a physical location. It's more for like you have a product that you ship
Mm-hmm.
or online services, that's where you will normally go to. In
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, it's geared towards people that are on the younger side. So if your target market is more between 18 to 30, I would say that TikTok would be a better place for you to put your products or services.
Yeah. And if you don't know who your target market is, that is also something that Paul can help with as a business coach. And likewise, it's important to know because then that affects your messaging. And so we talked about the importance of Google My Business as well as the importance of being active and leveraging social media. What are some key elements of a successful online marketing strategy?
I would say that the most important um, that 90% of businesses need is a website.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have an online presence as a website, I would say that you're missing out because a website could help you with SEO, search engine optimization,
Mm-hmm.
helping you get more clients.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a great way to showcase, and that space is basically yours. So I would say having a website is the number one, most important
Mm-hmm.
aspect for your online strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is consistency, keeping things
Mm,
updated.
yeah.
You want to not have outdated things. If you don't sell, let's say, a certain product, why are you still having it or why are you still sharing it? So,
Mm.
consistency, make sure to post at least, I would say, 2 to 3 times per week and be able to reply to the messages that people send you. I think having that connection with your customers, it's the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the key elements is having a website and then updating your website, as well as being consistent in your social media activity. So those are some key elements that you shared, and I think some good ones that I've heard you share with our community. Do you see any common mistakes when you're working with small businesses? Is there anything that they should avoid when they're trying to build their online presence?
Yes, I had a client that didn't want to do their own social media strategy, and that's
Mm-hmm.
totally fine. But I found that the people that they hired were using materials or pictures that were pretty generic that didn't really identify with the brand. So I would say be on the lookout of who you hire. Make sure
Mm,
that you
yeah.
like their services, and also see what you're putting out there. Make sure that you're replying to both positive and negative comments of your company, and make sure that everything's transparent in terms of your brand. I would
Mm-hmm.
say if you're hiring someone, make sure that the person is really um, giving that message that you want to convey.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think that's important, right? Is only putting things that kind of resonate with the brand and things you want to be associated with, and also the engagement with your community, right? Like part of having the social media is building a community online and a community of people that support your product or your business, and so interacting and engaging them is very important also. Um, so, Paul, now that we're kind of getting to the end of this interview, what are some key points that you would like people to take away, or maybe something that you want to reiterate?
Um, don't worry too much about the follower count or people that follow. It's better to have 100 followers that really interact with your post than having 1,000 that don't. So, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a number, and don't be discouraged. What matters most is creating. So make sure you create, innovate, see
Mm-hmm.
what people are using, and see what works, what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's not a competition. It's more about you showcasing your true brand. So get to know the way you want to put your style and make it your
Mm-hmm.
own. Like, don't be too general. Be more authentic and follow what you follow who you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
in terms as a business.
Yeah, I think that's a part of a scary, you're sometimes when you have a product and it's like maybe you're a perfectionist and you want it to be perfect before you show it to the world. But when you show it, there's a chance there for feedback. There's a chance to see, like you said, what works and what doesn't work. And there's a chance to get that constructive criticism. So yes, I think being authentic is important. People get to know you as a business owner and also associate you with your brand. So Paul, now that you've told us all this useful information, there might be some people who are interested in connecting with you. How can our community learn more about you as a business coach and get in touch with you for an appointment?
I would say the easiest and fastest way would be egbi.org/coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to register. Like I said, we have services in both Spanish and English, and that will be the fastest and best way
Mm-hmm.
to connect with those.
Yes, and if you go to our website, egbi.org/coach, there is a link there to our intake form. There's the intake form asks for a variety of services that you can receive here at EGBI, whether it's coaching, whether it's workshops, or both. We can see that. We can get more information about your business, about your specific pain points, and how Paul and our other business coaches can support you. There is an event that I wanted to invite you all to, and that is coming up this Thursday. It's called Do You Use Venmo, Cash App, or Facebook to Sell? If so, you'll be receiving Form 1099K. And so this Lunch and Learn is an info session for people that use Venmo or Cash App to get paid and its implications with your taxes. And so this event is going to be this Thursday, July 25th at 11:30 a.m. over at Workforce Solutions Capital Area North. And for more information, you can go to egbi.org/events and register there. But other than that, that's the information we had for today. So thank you very, very much, Paul, for taking the time, for sharing these useful details. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you today, Paul.
Thank you, David. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, sure thing. And if you find this episode useful or you think it would be useful for someone else, please share the link with them. And remember that La Incubadora podcast is part of Economic Growth Business Incubator, a business incubator here in Central Texas that's offering training, coaching, and support to small business owners with barriers to achieving success. So if you'd like to learn more about EGBI and our services, please visit egbi.org, and we'll see you on the next episode.